Hi friends, how are you all? I hope all of you are safe and I'm safe here too. So let us start with our CMA Inter Law. CMA Inter Law. I think we are on the shares and share capital chapter, right? So shares capital chapter. The name of the chapter is share capital. And accordingly, in this chapter, I think we are almost done with all the topics. We are only left with the last topic in this share capital topic, that is called transfer. And transmission. Transfer and transmission of shares. So what is the name of the topic? The name of the topic is known as transfer and transmission of shares. So let us start without delaying it for further. So what do you mean by the word called transfer and what do you mean by the word called transmission? तो पहले तो सबसे पहले we are going to understand the difference between the transfer and transmission of shares. Now, what do you mean by transfer and what do you mean by transmission? When the transfer is something, it is a voluntary action between the two parties. Transfer of share is a voluntary action between the two parties where one party who is transferring the shares, who is selling the shares, is known as transferor, and to the other party to whom the shares are being sold is known as the transferee, right? So how many parties are there in the transfer of shares? There are two parties. Party number one, the one who sells the shares, is known as what? Transferor, and the one who purchases the shares, to whom the shares have been transferred, is known as transferee. So transfer of shares means what? So let us first understand what do you mean by transfer of shares. What do you mean by transfer of shares? Now, in the transfer of shares, what we have to write, right? It is an act of selling of shares. It is an act of selling of shares voluntarily. It is an act of selling of shares voluntarily by a party called transferor. By a party called what? Transferor. So it's an act of selling the shares voluntarily by a party called transferor to the another party known as transferee. So everyone repeat, what do you mean by transfer of shares? So first of all, transfer of shares takes place between the two parties. Tell me the two parties. One is known as transferor and the another one is known as transferee. So it is an act of selling of shares voluntarily by the one party called transferor to the another party called transferee. This is what do you mean by transfer of shares. So how many parties are involved? Two parties are involved, transferor and transferee. Now, what do you mean by transmission? What do you mean by transmission of shares? Now, most of the students get the confusion between the transfer of shares as well as what? Transmission of shares. So let me tell you one thing. Transfer of shares, as I told you, it's a voluntary action of selling the shares between one party. One is known as transferor and the another party is known as transferee. The one is transferor, another one is known as transferee. When it comes to transmission, when the transmission takes place on three occasions. Transmission of shares takes place on three occasions. Sir, what are the three occasions? Occasion number one, on death of a member. Occasion number one, on the death of a member. Occasion number two, on insolvency of a member. On insolvency of a member. Occasion number three, on insanity of a member. सबको समझ में आया सर? So tell me, transmission takes place on three occasions. Transmission takes place on three occasions. What are the three occasions? On the death of the member, on the insolvency of the member, on the insanity of the member. So suppose when the member died, Atma met with what? Paramatma. Member khatam ho gaya, member mar gaya. In that case, what will happen? The shares of that deceased member will be automatically transmitted to his legal representative or nominee. Are you getting the point? Here, is there a voluntary action taking place or it is taking place due to the operation of law? Operation of law. तो law क्या बोलता है? When the member dies, his nominee or the legal representative will be the one to whom the shares will be transferred or to whom the shares will be transmitted. Tell me, to whom the shares will be transferred or to whom the shares will be transmitted? It will be known as transmitted. It is not transfer. Two alive parties are not talking to each other. They are not dealing with each other. One is dead and his legal representative automatically will get the shares. Company will transfer those shares in the name of legal representative. So what are the three occasions? Death. First occasion, death. We are done with. So on the death, the shares will be transmitted to whom? It will be transmitted to the legal representative. I hope everyone is clear. Okay. Second occasion, when the transmission takes place, that is known as what? Insolvency. Now, what do you mean by insolvency? The member is unable to pay the money. Member became insolvent. Now, what will happen? Court will appoint one person. That person is known as official assignee. What is the name of the person? Official assignee. Now, in this case, shares will be automatically transmitted to the official's assignee. Are you getting the point? So, in case of insolvency, the shares will be transmitted to official assignee. In case of death, shares will be transmitted to legal representative or the nominee. And what is the third case? In case of insanity. What do you mean by in case of insanity? Insanity means वो पागल इंसान है. He is not able to make a rational judgment. He is a person of unsound mind. Insanity came to that member. Then in that case, court will appoint one person. That person is known as official receiver. What is the name of the person? Official receiver. And shares will be transmitted. Now, what is the major difference you found between the transfer and transmission of shares? The major difference what we found is in the transfer of shares, the act was taking place between the two alive persons where the one party was voluntarily selling the shares to the another party. Who was that party? That party name was known as transferor. And who was the party to whom he is selling? The party name is known as transferee. So it was taking place as a voluntary action. Whereas now in case of transmission of shares, one party is not dealing with another party. It is happening on the three occasions. Tell me the three occasions. Death, insanity, insolvency. Tell me, in the case of death, shares will be transferred or transmitted? It will be transmitted to whom? To the legal representative or the nominee. And in case of insolvency, shares will be transmitted to whom? Official assignee. And third case, in the case of insanity, shares will be transmitted to the official assignee. I hope everyone is clear. So let us first understand what are the major differences between transfer of shares and transmission of shares, right? Now, what do you mean by transfer and what do you mean by transmission? I hope the major idea you already got that transfer is a voluntary action whereas a transmission is a operation by law. So point number one is that only voluntary act of selling shares. It's a voluntary act of what? Selling the shares between at least two parties. Between at least how many parties? Two parties. Now on the other side, what do you mean by transmission? An act of transmission of shares under operation of law. Under the operation of law. So it is happening under the operation of law and that is happening between the two voluntary live parties, at least two parties. Difference number one. Difference number two. Now think logically before answering, think logically before understanding and before spitting out any word. Tell me one thing, where the consideration will be involved? where the money is involved, where the transfer of money is also going to take place. Consideration is involved in here. Consideration is involved in transfer of shares, whereas the consideration is not involved where in transmission. Why consideration is not involved? Now, does the deceased family member, is the deceased family member getting something in return? He is already dead. He is not getting any consideration. Is the insolvent person going to get any consideration? No. Is the insane person going to get any consideration? No. So, consideration is not at all involved in case of what? Transmission. It is involved in case of what? Transfer. I hope you understood. So, in the case of transfer, money is taking place, consideration is taking place between the two parties, transferor and transferee. Whereas in the transmission, money transaction is not taking place, so no consideration is taking place. I hope everyone is clear. Yes, sir, we are clear. Third point. What is the third point? Think logically. When we do the transfer of shares, we need to pay stamp duty. We need to pay which duty? Stamp duty on sales consideration. We have to pay the stamp duty on which consideration? Sales consideration. When we are selling the shares from one party to another party, stamp duty will be levied. Whereas in case of transmission, is it taking place from one party to another party or by the operation of law? Sir, by the operation of law. So there is no stamp duty. There is no stamp duty in case of, there is no stamp duty in case of what? In case of transmission. Am I correct or not? Sir, samajh mein aaya? Now tell me one thing. Fourth difference, very important difference, where the agreement or the deed will be executed. Transfer deed will be executed where? In the transfer of shares. So, transfer deed shall be executed. No such deed required. No such deed required. So, this is the major difference between the transfer of shares as well as what? Transmission of shares. I hope everyone is clear now. So, this is what the major difference between transfer and transmission of shares. So, shall we move ahead? Yes, sir. We can move ahead. So, it's a recorded class. It's a I'm recording the class. So, if you feel like yes, you missed something, you can go back and refer it again, right? Now, what is the next thing? Let's first finish the transfer of shares first. Let's finish first the topic called transfer of shares. Chalo, let us understand what do you mean by transfer of shares. Start करें sir? चलो start करते हैं. What do you mean by transfer of shares? Point number one. Point number one. An execution of transfer deed shall take place. An execution of transfer deed shall take place. Sir, what do you mean by transfer deed? An agreement. Transfer deed is nothing but called what? Agreement. Between whom and whom? Between the party called transferor and the party called what? Transferee. And this transfer deed shall be executed between the transferor and transferee, and it will be sent to the company. It will be sent to whom? Company for registration purpose. It will be sent to the company for registration purpose along with transferor's surrendered shares. Now, transferor is going to sell the shares. Transferor is selling the shares. So, transferor is going to sell the shares to whom? To the transferee. So, transferor क्या करेगा? अपने सारे shares को transfer कर देगा company को along with this transfer deed, and along with this transfer deed, when he surrendered his shares, company will register this transfer deed. Am I correct or not? And from the register of members, transferor's name will be removed and transferee's name will be inserted. Are you getting the point? And company will cancel all those share certificates which were in the name of whom? Transferor, and will reissue the new share certificates in the name of whom? Transferee. Everyone clear? So, an execution of transfer deed shall take place between the transferor and transferee. And we have to send it to whom? To the company. For which purpose? For the registration purpose. Everyone clear? Now, what is the form number? The form number is SH4. This transfer deed is required to be executed in the form number SH4. Everyone clear? Yes. Point number 2. Is it a act of operation of law or is it a voluntary act? So, it's a voluntary act. Selling of shares. It's a voluntary act of selling of shares between two parties. One is known as transferor and another one is known as transferee. Everyone clear? So, it's an act of selling of shares between at least two parties. One is known as transferor and the second one is known as transferee. Now, most important point, very important point. Sir, only shares can be transferred? Sir, only securities can be transferred? Only the instrument, financial instruments can be transferred? No. You can also transfer your interest in the company also to the another person. Sir, tell us how. Now, if you remember, in the chapter number 1, when we did the introduction, in the chapter number 1, I told you the classification of companies topic. In the classification of companies topic, do you remember I told you the company like guarantees company, guarantee companies are there, or guarantee company not having share capital, unlimited company not having share capital. In these companies, how you become the member? You become the member by holding a guaranteed amount which you are going to pay to the company at the time of liquidation or winding up. Am I correct or not? Now, I don't want to hold that guarantee. I was first the guaranteed member. I was the member given a guarantee to the company called guarantee company not having share capital. Now, I don't want to hold that guarantee. Now, what should I do? मैं क्या करूं? मैं क्या करूंगा? मैं अपनी guarantee को भी transfer कर सकता हूं. I can transfer my guarantee also. Are you getting the point or not? So, not only securities can be transferred, guarantee or interest in the company, any kind of interest in the company can also be transferred. Did you get the point or not? So, transfer word is not only applicable to, it is not only applicable to transfer of securities, it is applicable to both transfer of securities as well as the transfer of interest, right? So, not only securities shall be transferred, not only securities shall be transferred, rather any interest of member in company can also be transferred, Now listen to a very important point. अब इसको ध्यान से सुनना. Next point. Point number 4 क्या है सर? अब सुनो. Now suppose there is one person called transferor and there is another person called what? Transferee. Who is selling shares to whom? Tell me. Transferor is selling the shares to the transferee. In between, is there anyone who is going to take care of any registration or execution of deed? Yes. In between both of them, there is another thing called what? Company. Am I correct or not? There is another thing called what? Company. Between the two, right? So, between the two, there is another thing called what? Company. Now, when the transferor is surrendering his shares to the company, there might be a case that he has surrendered to the company partly paid up shares. He was holding which shares? Partly paid up shares. So, remember one thing, it is the company's duty. It is the company's duty to intimate, whom? The transferee. It is a company's duty to intimate the transferee that the shares are what? Partly paid up shares. Remember one thing, transferor is not going to intimate to the transferee that the shares are partly paid up. Who is going to intimate to the transferee that the shares are partly paid up? Company is going to intimate to the transferee that the shares are what? That the shares are partly paid up. Everyone clear? Company is going to intimate to the transferee that the shares are partly paid up. Sir, how it is going to be intimated? In form number SH5. What is the form number? SH5. I hope everyone is clear. Super clear. So, this is what do you mean by transfer of shares. Everyone clear or not? Now, let us do the next thing. Point number 5. Tell me frankly, just the two very simple questions I am going to ask. Where the transfer of shares easily possible and where some restrictions are there. Restrictively possible means what? I'm not saying it is prohibited to transfer the shares. I'm just asking you a very simple thing, where the transfer of shares is easily possible and where the transfer of shares is restrictively possible. Can anybody tell me? Can anybody tell me? Hi students, so let us start with the topic again. So in between the first video was disturbed, so this video, whatever you are watching right now, is in continuation of your previous video. So in the point number 5th we were, so transfer of shares are easily possible where and restrictively possible where. Now see, it's a very simple thing, where the transfer is easily possible and where the transfer is difficultly possible. So you all know that transfer is very much easily possible where? It is very much easily possible in the case of which company? Public company or private company? So in case of private company or public company? Is it correctly written? So in the case of private company, share transfer are easy or share transfer are difficult? Share transfers are difficult. In case of which company? In case of public companies. Oh sorry, private companies. So where easy transferability of share is there? It is there in case of public company, whereas in case of private company, I'm not saying it is not allowed to share. I'm not saying it is not allowed to transfer, but yes, there are some restrictions on the transferability of shares as we have discussed in the chapter number 1. What are the restrictions we have? That you have to first offer it to the existing shareholders. You have to first offer it to the existing shareholders, right? So there are some restrictions on that. Now, next thing what we have to understand, point number 6. Now, I will give you some cases now and you have to tell me कि as a company, will you allow this transfer of securities or you will not allow this transfer of securities? Shall we start with the case law? Now, case law number 1. Suppose Mr. A is selling the shares to the B. Who is selling the shares to the B? A is selling the shares to the B. So, who is A? A is a transferor. Then who is B? B is a transferee. Am I correct or not? Transfer means what? Transfer means voluntary transfer of shares between at least two parties. One is transferor and the another one is transferee, right? So A is a transferor and B is a transferee. Now A is selling the shares to the B. Now when the A is selling the shares to the B, A is 37 years old, whereas B is 17 years old. It means B is what? Major or minor? B is minor. Everyone clear or not? So B क्या है? Minor है. So when the A is selling the shares to the minor and the shares what he is selling are partly paid up shares. Shares what he is selling are what? Fully paid up or partly paid up? Partly paid up shares. So my question is whether such transfer will be allowed by the company or it will be refused by the company. Think logically before answering. A is a major, transferring the shares to the another person called minor. Is it going to be what do you say, valid transfer or the company may refuse this transfer? Company may refuse this transfer. What is the reason? The reason is shares are which shares? Partly paid up shares. Shares are what? Partly paid up shares. So just because the shares are partly paid up, the transfer of shares cannot take place between A and B. Now, will your answer change? Will your answer change if the shares are fully paid up? Will your answer change if the shares are fully paid up? Yes, sir. Answer will change. In such case, transfer of share is allowed to the minor. The reason? Because the shares are already fully paid up. Now, when the shares are already fully paid up, does the minor have any obligation towards the company? Company has to take any money from the minor. Shares are partly paid up or fully paid up? Fully paid up. Whether the company will ask any kind of call money from the minor in future for which they are uncertain? No. There is no money, minor has to pay to the company because minor has paid the total money to whom? Minor has already paid the total money to the major person. Am I correct or not? So B is going to pay the money to the A because the shares are partly paid up. No refusal of transfer will take place. When the refusal of transfer of shares will take place? If the shares are being transferred to minor and most importantly shares are what in nature? Partly paid up nature. So in this case what will happen? Refusal of transfer is going to take place. Yes, the share transfer will be refused by the company. I hope everyone is clear. Chalo, case number 2 karte hain. This was our case number A. Let us do the case number 2. Again, A is selling the shares to the B. Who is selling the shares to the whom? A is selling the shares to the B. When A is selling the shares to the B, think logically, B is an insolvent person. B is a which person? Insolvent person. पहले तो ये बताओ, who is the transferor? A is the transferor. Who is the transferee? B is the transferee. But B is also an insolvent person. And again, shares are partly paid up shares. Again, shares are what? Partly paid up shares. Now, again, tell me whether company can refuse this transfer. Company can refuse this transfer or cannot refuse this transfer? Yes, company can refuse this transfer. Why? Because again, the shares are what? Partly paid up. So my question to you is same again. Will your answer change if the shares are fully paid up? Will your answer change if the shares are fully paid up and B is an insolvent person? Still, yes. In that case, no refusal of transfer will take place. So only the refusal will transfer take place if the shares are what? Partly paid up. If the shares are what? Partly paid up. So what are the two cases we have done? If the shares are being transferred to the minor and the shares are partly paid up, refusal will take place. If the shares are being transferred to the insolvent person and the shares are partly paid up, then only the refusal will take place. Then let it be public company or let it be private company. Everywhere company has a right to refuse the transfer. Then they can cancel this transfer. They will not register this transfer of the shares. Everyone clear? Right. Case number C. Now, ध्यान से सुनना केस. Suppose Mr. A is there, he is holding 2% of paid up share capital in the Reliance India Limited. He is holding 2% of the paid up share capital in the Reliance India Limited, right? Now, in the Reliance India Limited, PQR Limited, one company is there. PQR Limited also holds 49% of the paid up share capital. How much percentage? 49% of the paid up share capital in the which company? Reliance India Limited. So A is holding how much? 2% of the paid up share capital. PQR is holding how much? 49% of the paid up share capital. Now A decided to sell his 2% to whom? PQR Limited. Understand the intensity of the situation. A is holding 2%. PQR Limited is holding 49%. If A will sell all his shares to the PQR Limited, what will happen to the PQR Limited? PQR Limited will become 51% of paid up share capital. Is it correct or not? 49% already existing plus what? Plus 2% purchased from whom? A. Now, if the PQR Limited will hold 51% of the paid up share capital in which company, sir? In the Reliance India Limited, then what the Reliance will become? Reliance will become subsidiary of PQR Limited. Reliance will become what? Subsidiary of PQR Limited. Now tell me, is it another way of doing the takeover of the company or not? Yes or no? There might be a case that PQR Limited is paying very high price to Mr. A. A sold the shares. A did not know that after selling 2%, PQR Limited total consideration will be what? Total participation in the Reliance India Limited will be what? 51%, and Reliance automatically will become what? Subsidiary of which company? It will become a subsidiary of PQR Limited. So in this case, my question is whether Reliance India Limited can refuse the sale of shares made by A. Can Reliance India Limited refuse the transfer of shares made by A? Answer is again yes, refusal is possible. So what we understood from the three cases, कि if there is a genuine reason, that refusal should be stopped, then it is a responsibility of the company that company can stop that refusal of transfer. Are you getting the point? But remember one thing, it should be a genuine reason. Like in the minor case, shares were partly paid up. There may be a chance that in future minor may not pay the money. Refusal can take place. In case of what? Insolvent. Again, partly paid up shares. There may be a chance that in the future the share, the insolvent person may or may not pay the money. So yes, company has a right to refuse the shares. And what is the next one? In this case, indirect control is going in the hands of whom? PQR Limited. So yes, Reliance India Limited, if they want, they can cancel this transfer, refuse this transfer. So this is known as the topic called refusal of transfer. What is the name of the topic? Refusal of transfers. Everyone clear or not? This is what we mean by the topic called refusal of transfer. Everyone clear? Chalo, let me ask you some questions. Now, what has happened? Seventh point. Let's do it in a way of seventh point. Now, what has happened? Say for example, Mr. A is selling the shares to Mr. B. Shares are fully paid up shares. B is not a minor, he is also a major, and Mr. A is also a major. So A भी major है, B भी major है, shares भी fully paid up है. Now tell me, in this case, a company can refuse the transfer? Can refuse or cannot refuse? Cannot refuse, sir. Why it cannot refuse? Tell me. Because the shares are fully paid up, both are major, no problem in transfer. But suppose PQR Limited refused this transfer. PQR Limited refused this transfer. Now tell me, was the refusal made by PQR Limited here was justified or it was unjustified? You have to give me the answer. Think logically. PQR Limited refused this transfer. Both are major. Shares are not partly paid up. Shares are what? Fully paid up. But PQR Limited refused this transfer. Now tell me what will happen. Now tell me what should happen. What will happen now? Now in this case, neither the transferor Mr. A is happy, nor the transferee Mr. B is happy. Now what will happen? अब क्या होगा? The only, in this case, what will happen is the dissatisfied party. Which party? Dissatisfied party. The party which is in angry mood, the party which is dissatisfied by the move of this company can file. They can file appeal. They can file appeal to NCLT. They can file an appeal to NCLT कि भैया मेरे shares अच्छे खासे थे, fully paid up थे, we both are major, but this company has refused our transfer. We don't know the reason. We are asking the reason, but company is unable to give us the correct reason. Are you understanding the point? So they can file an appeal to NCLT against whom? Against the company. Against the company for the refusal of transfer of shares with justification or without justification? Without justification. So remember one thing, if there is a reasonable ground, if there is a reasonable justification, company has every right to refuse the transfer. But is this case a genuine or non-genuine? It is a non-genuine case. Here everything is super, everything is clear, but still company is refusing the transfer. Now what the shareholder will do? I mean, what the dissatisfied party will do? They will make an appeal to whom? They will make an appeal to NCLT. Now, they will make an appeal to NCLT. Now question is, sir, is there any time period for making the appeal? Yes, sir, there is a time period for making the appeal. Now listen to this. Listen to the time period. Now listen to this. If it is a private company, if it is a which company? Private company. If the appeal is made by the members of the private company, then appeal must be made within 30 days from receipt of notice of refusal. If the appeal is made by the members of the private company, then the appeal can be made by the members of the private company within how many days? Within 30 days from the receipt of what? Notice of refusal. But if no notice received, if the member has not received any kind of notice of refusal and the delay is taking place in the transfer, then it can be filed, then this appeal can be filed within 60 days. Then appeal can be filed within how many days? Within 60 days. So remember one thing, if in case of private company, if the member has received the notice of refusal, then the appeal will be filed within 30 days from the date he has received the notice of refusal. But if he has not received the notice of refusal, neither the transferor nor the transferee, then the dissatisfied party can file the appeal within 60 days. If it is a which company? If it is a private company. If it is a which company, sir? If it is a private company. Everyone clear or not? Next point. If it is a company other than private company, if it is a company other than what? Private company, then what will happen? Then in that case, what will happen? The appeal shall be filed within 60 days. It shall be filed within 60 days from the notice of refusal. Yes. Now 30 days has been increased to what? 60 days from the notice of refusal. From the notice of refusal. Everyone clear or not? Then the appeal must be filed within 30 days from the notice of refusal. Next point. If no notice of refusal, now tell me, there's a very small trick. Now it was 30 days when the notice of refusal was received by the member of private company. It was 30 days. Now it became 60 days when it comes to the companies other than what? Private company. Now when the notice was not received, it was 60 days in case of private company. Add again 30 days. Then it means it will be how many days? Within 90 days. Within how many days? 90 days. Everyone clear or not? So 30 days became 60 days and 60 days became what? 90 days. Means what? From the private company to any other company, there's an addition of what? 30 days in both the cases. Notice received, then 60 days. Notice not received, then 90 days for the companies other than what? Private companies. But if it is a private company, notice of refusal received 30 days, no notice received, then within 60 days. Appeal we are making it to whom? We are making it to whom? NCLT. We are making the appeal to whom? NCLT. Now, if the NCLT is also satisfied, what the NCLT will do? Chapandi. What the NCLT will do? NCLT will immediately pass the order. So what are the order? Do the transfer of shares immediately. Now this order is on what? This order is on company. Do the transfer of the shares immediately. And second thing, what is the second going to be? Second is pay damages to the dissatisfied party. Pay damages to the dissatisfied party, if any. If any. Everyone clear or not? Pay damages to the dissatisfied party, if any. So matlab NCLT is ordering to the company that ki do one thing bhaiya, do the transfer immediately. Now no further delay, because I am satisfied that there was no genuine reason. Second thing, NCLT is also telling to the company ki do one thing, pay damages to the dissatisfied party, if any, if they suffered any damages. Are you getting the point? So these are the various things what the NCLT will do if the appeal will be filed to the NCLT. I hope everyone is clear. So with that, our transfer of the shares topic is over. Now there is one small topic what we are left with, that is called transmission of shares. That is called transmission of shares. Let us understand what do you mean by transfer of shares. We already understood the what do you mean by transfer of shares. Now we are going to understand what do you mean by transmission of shares. So if you remember, I already told you the differences between transfer and transmission. So transfer is a voluntary act of selling of shares between at least two parties. Tell me the name of the parties. Transferor and transferee. But transmission takes place by what? By operation of law. It takes place by the operation of law. Am I correct or not? It takes place on 3 occasions. Transmission takes place on 3 occasions. Tell me, what are the 3 occasions? On death of the member, on insolvency of the member, and on what? On insanity of the member. So on the death of the member, on insolvency of the member, and on the insanity of the member. On the death of the member, what will take place? What will take place on the death of the member? On the death of the member, what will take place? On the death of the member, the shares will be transmitted to whom? To the legal representative or nominee. The shares will be transmitted to whom? To the legal representative or nominee. Now, what will happen in case of insolvency? The shares will be transmitted. Insolvency, shares will be transmitted to official assignee. If you remember, we have already discussed that in the beginning of this video. It will be transmitted to the official assignee. And on insanity, the shares will be transmitted to official receiver. shares will be transmitted to official receiver. Everyone clear or not? या तो shares nominee को transfer हो जाएंगे on the death of the member. On insolvency, it will be transferred to the official assignee, and in case of insanity of the member, the shares will be not transferred, it will be transmitted to the official receiver. Now let me tell you one thing, these are the persons who are appointed by court. These persons are always appointed by court, and this is the same person which the deceased person already might have given his nominee, or if he has not given the nominee, any legal representative from his family or friends, he may come and claim up the shares. Now the question is, how the company will know that the member is dead? In case of nominee, he has to present the death certificate. Now, if the nominee wants to take up the shares of the deceased family member, he has to present the which certificate? Death certificate to the company. And in case of official assignee and official receiver, they have to present or they have to show administration order. They have to show what? Administration order of a court. Are you getting the point? They have the court order in their hand कि we have been appointed by the court. We are going to take over the shares of the insolvent member or the shares of the insane member. Court has given us the order. So they will show the administration order to the company, and the company will immediately transmit the shares. It means what? Deceased member's name will be removed. Insane member name will be removed. Insolvent member name will be removed. Whose name will be inserted? Whose name will be inserted? Nominee will be inserted in case of death of a member. Official assignee will be inserted in the register of member in case of death, in case of insolvency of the member. And official receiver will be inserted in the register of member in case of what? Insanity of the member. Crystal clear? So these are the three occasions on which transmission of shares takes place. And rest remaining points we already know. Any stamp duty gets levied when the transmission takes place? Answer is no. There is no stamp duty going to take place or levied by any organization or any statutory authority. The reason is very simple. It is not a sale taking place. It is on the death, on the insolvency, on the insanity. The shares are getting transmitted, not getting transferred. So no stamp duty is involved in case of transmission of shares. Sir, is there any transfer deed going to take place? Is there any transfer deed going to take place? Answer is no. Why? Sir, is it a transaction taking place between the two parties? No. Where is the deceased partner? Atma is already with what? Paramatma. Are you getting the point or no? आत्मा तो परमात्मा के पास है. नॉमिनी और डेड मेंबर के बीच में कोई एग्रीमेंट हुआ क्या? नहीं हुआ. तो इन दैट केस ट्रांसफर डीड विल टेक प्लेस और विल नॉट टेक प्लेस? Will not take place, right? Next one. Any consideration will pass? Any consideration is involved? Answer is no. No consideration is involved. Everyone clear or not? So this is nothing but known as what? Transmission of shares, not the transfer of shares. Now what is the next thing you have to understand? The next thing is very clear, guys. Now there is one question which they may ask you. Example, say for example, A and B, they are the joint shareholders. Can anybody tell me what is the concept of joint shareholders? Who are called joint shareholders? Two members holding the shares jointly. They will be considered as one member only, but they are the joint shareholders holding the same shares in a joint name. That is why they are known as joint shareholders. But at the time of voting, they will be considered as one only. Now listen to this. Suppose A and B were the joint shareholders. They went to the Goa on a trip. They were very fond of going inside the beach. So they went into the beach and they were doing the paragliding. By mistake, accident happened. By mistake, what happened? Accident happened. Mr. A died, but Mr. B survived. Now tell me one thing. Is there any transmission of shares going to take place or transfer of shares going to take place? Answer number one is, sir, death is taking place. So obviously what will take place? Transmission of shares will take place. So there was no doubt in saying that yes sir, transmission of shares will take place. But my question number two is very, very important. Try to understand this question. Whether legal representative of A will become, or nominee of the A will become the new member along with B. or the shares will be automatically transmitted to the surviving joint shareholder. Now look at the rule. The rule says that in case of joint shareholder, if one dies and another survives, if one dies and another survives, then the shares will not be given to the legal representative or nominee of the deceased member. No, will not be given to them. Then the shares will be automatically transmitted to the survivor member. Am I correct or no? The one who survived, he will get the shares. To the one who survived, he will get the shares. I hope you understood or not. This is a special case of joint shareholder in case of transmission of shares. अगर एक shareholder की death होती है, if the one shareholder is dying and the another one is what? Surviving, then in that case the shares will be automatically transmitted to the one who has survived. Are you getting the point? So no legal representative, no nominee case will come because one died, one survived. Acha, will your answer change if both of them died? If both of them died, what is your answer? The answer is going to be what? The answer is very simple. Answer is yes, the legal representative or nominee of both the cases will come into the picture. I hope everyone is clear. Done. Okay, last point है करेंगे. Suppose there is a nominee. We all know that nominee has to produce which certificate? Death certificate. Am I correct? Okay. He has produced the death certificate. Ki say for example, his father died as a member and nominee's deceased father was holding 5,000 shares of Tata Steels. He was holding 5,000 shares of Tata Steels. अब क्या होगा? Now the board of directors of Tata Steels will send one notice to whom? Nominee. They will send one notice to the nominee कि do you want to hold the shares? क्या तुम अपने फादर के शेयर्स होल्ड करना चाहते हो? Do you still want to hold the shares of your deceased father or you want to sell the shares? Sell or dispose the shares. Who is sending this notice to whom? Company is sending the notice to the nominee or the legal representative saying that do you want to hold the shares of your father or you want to sell the shares of your father? Please give us the reply. Give us the reply within 90 days of receipt of this notice. Within how many days? Within 90 days, we need a reply from you. Who is asking the reply from whom? First of all, company is asking the reply from nominee. Within how many days? 90 days. Ki please give us a reply. Ki do you want to hold the shares or do you want to dispose the shares? Within 90 days. Within 90 days. If nominee fails to reply, if the nominee fails to reply, then all the dividend, all the bonus shares and all the right shares. Again repeating, if the nominee fails to reply within 90 days, अगर उसने कुछ भी reply नहीं दिया, then what the company will do? Company will withheld. What is the word used? Company will withheld all the dividends, all the bonus shares and right shares of such deceased member. राइट शेयर्स ऑफ दिस. विद हेल्ड का मतलब क्या होता है? कंपनी अपने पास रोक के रख लेगी. कंपनी विल कीप इट विद देमसेल्व्स. दे विल नॉट गिव द डिविडेंड टू द नॉमिनी. They will not give any bonus shares to the nominee. They will not give any right shares to the nominee till the time nominee is not giving a reply. And what was the time period given to the nominee? 90 days was given. But still 90 days are over, nominee has not replied. Now tell me what the company will do? Company will withheld all the dividend, withheld all the bonus shares and withheld all the right shares till the time, after 90 days, till the time the nominee is not giving a reply. Now the question is, now nominee woke up after 6 months. After 90 days, he took another 6 months to reply. Now, if he is replying after 6 months or any time period after the 90 days, he has to pay a particular charges to the company, then only company will release this dividend, this bonus shares and right shares to the nominee. Everyone clear or not? Maximum time period as per the law available with the nominee is to reply within 90 days. If no reply is coming within 90 days, then what will happen? Then the company definitely has to what? Then the company definitely has to withheld it, and nominee, if replying after 90 days, he has to pay the necessary charges to the company. That might be dependent upon the case to case basis, and accordingly all the dividend, bonus shares and right shares which were withheld by the company will be released to the nominee. Now with this, our topic called share and share capital chapter is completely over. Shares and share capital chapter is completely over. I hope everyone is clear. Everyone is crystal clear with the topic. Shall we go to the next topic now? Right? So let us go to the next topic without waiting or without wasting our time. Right? Chalo. ये हो गया अपना. This was for the, what do you say, previous day class recording, yesterday's class recording. So let's do the recording for the today's class now. Are you getting the point? Chalo, let's start it.